Hi, so a lot of times we have a fear of succeeding or failing at something in our lives and something we want to do. So I'm going to talk about the fear of success first. Well, they kind of go together in some ways, but for instance, if you're afraid to get in shape because you might have an underlying fear, and this is kind of silly because most of the time these fears are subconscious, so we don't actually recognize them, but they can hinder our progress and block us from achieving the things we want to achieve. So consciously bringing them up, asking ourselves questions, can actually help clear that energy and clear those blocks so that we can achieve the things that we want to. So let's say you have a fear of being in shape, like we started with a moment ago. Why are you afraid of achieving your goals of physical fitness? Why are you afraid? Maybe you have a fear or a false belief that people who are in really good shape are judged, that they're like snobs, or that they focus too much on their physical looks. And we might not even recognize we're thinking these things. And so sometimes we say them out loud and they sound kind of silly, but it's actually more real than I think we realize. So what are the fears that you have about anything you're trying to succeed? And then when you find the fears, you need to tell yourself the truth. So like with getting in shape, is everybody a snob who's in shape? Sorry there. But no, the truth is no. And I just was coming up with that one about being a snob when you're in shape at the last second. But you have to remind yourself the truth. And maybe you're worried you will become too focused on your physical looks. And so you kind of shy away, even not realizing you're doing it consciously, from some of your goals to get in better shape. So when you recognize it, you can just tell yourself the truth. It actually really does help clear the energy. So you can just remind yourself that no, you can still be a person who loves and focuses on other things, even if you're in good shape. Another one for me that is kind of funny is well, I guess it's not funny, but I've self-published some books. But I remember years ago when I first started writing, and I sent in my first manuscript to a publishing agent, publisher, I guess. It wasn't an agent, it was a publisher. They rejected it, but I had the fear, no, this goes into the fear of failure, but I'll explain why it's also tied to the fears of success. I had the fear of failing, and I got rejected, and it wasn't as bad as I thought, and I didn't mind so much. And most authors I have talked to, they've been rejected a lot, and it kind of, sometimes when we realize how normal those kind of things are, it's helpful. But also sometimes you can have a fear of success. Let's say you write a book and you feel like pretty proud of yourself, or you feel like it's good, or whatever you feel like, and then you want to publish it, but then you're afraid, well, what if it is good? What if it's out there and people don't like it? What if they don't like me? What if they say bad things? What if they give bad reviews? So I have a book published, but now I'm getting all this like bad feedback. Or what if there's stress because I'm getting good feedback? I mean, we can get these fears about any kind of success, and it can actually block us. So anyway, those are just some thoughts but about that. And we also have the fear of failure comes in, and we can think, oh, if I fail, I'm not as good, I'm a mess, I'm a failure. But first of all, I think a good question to ask is it really failing? Because sometimes we assign these definitions to words, and like with all these memes on the internet and all these other, I don't know if they're memes, like quotes, I guess, about it's not failing, it's learning. So ask yourself the question, remind yourself of the truth. If you try something and you don't succeed the way you wanted to, perhaps look at it in a different way and see the truth of the situation, maybe what you learned or what it showed you about yourself that you can improve on, or that you just needed to know. There's just different kinds of learning, as you all know. But anyway, so these are just some thoughts But as you clear out these energies, and you have to, like I said earlier, bring them consciously up, because a lot of times we're not realizing how they affect us subconsciously. But they do. They inhibit, again, our goals that we want to do, so that we do have to consciously talk about them. But anyway, thanks for listening and watching. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.